Hi, I'm Madison Hegarty, and this is my self-designed demonstration of learning from my Nursing 213 class. For my self-directed ethics project, I have chosen to create a podcast. Within this podcast, I will talk about my personal values and beliefs and how they influence my nursing practice and tie into my morals and ethical values. I want to explore the relationship between my personal values and beliefs in relation to complex ethical situations, speaking about situations in which I am advocating for clients when their values differ from mine. Also, I will be investigating what ethical principles and theories I utilize most in practice and when interacting with clients. By answering the following questions and reflecting on my personal practice, I am wanting to come to know what is most important to me as a student nurse within the realm of foundational ethics. Now let's begin. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Novels of a Nurse, the podcast where we talk about ethics in nursing and our personal views. Today, we have Madison here to speak. She is a second-year nursing student. First off, Madison, I would like you to tell us a bit about yourself and how you decided you wanted to pursue a career in nursing. All right, so I wanted to pursue a career in nursing for as long as I can remember. But what really drove me towards this profession is the fact that I love working with people and believe that I am a very caring person and promoting good in others' lives brings me joy. Also, as someone who has a chronic illness and has spent a large amount of time in the hospital, I have seen the impact nurses can have on a patient's life and honestly completely change a patient's outlook of their illness and adapting to a new way of living. I think there is so much positive and good within this profession, and that is what drives my passion for nursing every day. Because if I can make a positive impact on someone's life, it just means the world to me. That is such a fantastic response and lovely to hear. The next question I have for you is, in your own practice as a student nurse, how do your personal values and beliefs influence how you interact with your patients? I really try and not let my personal values and beliefs affect my practice, as it is important to have my personal judgments removed from situations. However, it is my belief that all clients should be treated with autonomy and respect, and at all times I should uphold the principle of beneficence, as this allows my patients to not only receive care that incorporates what is most important to them, but also promotes overall health and well-being within their lives. As a student nurse, I acknowledge that my awareness of the values I possess only continues to grow, along with my ethical values as a nurse. At the end of the day, I would say that there are times when my personal values and beliefs are involved in my practice, but I always attempt to exclude those that could jeopardize the health and well-being of my clients. Very well said, Madison. With that, now, how do you go about advocating for clients when their personal values and beliefs differ from yours? Well, as a student nurse, achieving the optimal health and well-being for my clients is my main priority, especially when advocating for them and their personal needs. I have come to know how critical removing my personal bias from situations is, as it can influence the decisions I make for clients. In circumstances where my opinion differs from that of my client, I really must remain neutral in my perspective, as I'm not allowed to influence a client's decision or offer them my personal opinion. Advocating for clients is essential as a nurse, and I believe for a client to be autonomous, you must respect their values and beliefs, even if they are different from yours. I never want to let my own values interfere with the treatment a client receives, and it is my personal standard to prioritize the health of my clients above anything else. All right, so now that we have covered that, how do you think morals are different than values and beliefs? And what do you believe is the relationship between them? The relationship between morals, values, and beliefs is complicated, as although they are three different components that contribute to our ethical values, they are somewhat dependent on each other. Morals are derived from a system of beliefs that we gain or are taught over time, and ultimately our morals help guide us determine right from wrong and good from bad. Values are the principles, ideals, and standards that we uphold based on our personal beliefs and the ideas we generate individually as we decide what has value to us, such as loyalty, fairness, etc. A belief is something that you accept to be true or believe. They can evolve from personal opinions or factual knowledge, and they guide your attitudes and opinions towards others' actions or statements. As a parent, morals, values, and beliefs are all intertwined, and you can't have one without the other. And all are involved in conscious decision-making and rational thinking. Our values and beliefs are also what constitutes who we are and greatly influences what we view as morally just. As we grow as individuals and nursing students, our perspectives continue to broaden, and therefore our morals, values, and beliefs continue to evolve and adapt to reflect our lived experiences. That was a great response and very well said. The next question I have for you is, when working with clients, which ethical theories do you implement most and why? And do you think all the ethical theories are ethical? So actually right now I'm taking a Nursing 213 course, which is a course about ethics. And prior to taking it, I was unaware of the ethical theories that are in place to guide a nurse's practice in a clinical setting. After analyzing my personal practice, I would say I utilize value theory and the theory of right action often, as well as utilitarianism and deontology. However, I believe that utilitarianism and deontology are somewhat unethical to a certain degree. When implementing utilitarianism, it states the action is judged as good or bad in relations to the consequences, outcome, or end result, which I do not believe is ethical because the action, despite it having a positive outcome, could have malicious intent, as it's really unknown. Deontology, on the other hand, states the rightness or wrongness of an act depends on the nature of the act rather than the consequences. I believe this theory is more ethical because with the action you implement, you are trying to do the right thing, though the outcome might not always reflect that. These theories were created many years ago, so therefore they may not be fit to ethical practice today, and many need adaptation during practice, as I've seen from my own experience. Fantastic answer, Madison. This is my last question I have to ask you today. Is, as a student and future nurse, how do you uphold the ethical principles? And additionally, which do you think are the most important and why? You know, it is important to keep the ethical principles conscious in my mind when providing care to clients, as having this knowledge allows me to apply these principles in practice. I believe that the ethical principles are situational, and not all are applicable to every client you care for. When working with clients, I always ensure to implement an autonomous relationship, as I believe the client should always be involved in their care if possible and have the information to make informed decisions. I need to be mindful of what I say to clients because if I am not conscious of my thoughts, I may not uphold fidelity or veracity. Also, in clinical situations, I need to promote my client's health and wellness, which involves the principles of beneficence and non-maleficence, as despite always wanting to promote good and not do harm, there are some situations where potentially harmful or hurtful interventions have benefits that outweigh the initial pain. Overall, I do not think there is one ethical principle that is more important than all the others, as utilizing all of them is best practice and will allow you to provide the best care possible to clients. There are definitely situations where certain principles may be more important than others, but as a nursing student, it is my ethical responsibility to determine when that is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our weekly podcast of Novels of a Nurse. Can everyone give it up for our lovely interviewee, Madison, the second-year nursing student?